Exactly.
Yeah, I remember that. She was,
Her
we
ass
were
was
talking.
instantly hounded.
Okay,
Could be a fun
so
adventure.
we got Sebastian. I've dragged him back here to this round room over here.
I'll throw everybody in there, in that little area.
I remember I carried him over here. All right. Which one of your friends can bring him back this time?
Let me see what I can find out.
Can you get us out of here?
What did you guys do the last time this happened?
We brought him to. I wasn't here the last time, I don't believe. So I won't say a word.
The last time he died, he was resurrected. Sorry, I've got a wee little one here by me.
Me too.
Laura, I don't know if you're talking, but you're muted just in case you're trying to say something.
No, I was being quiet.
Okay.
You probably recall, Grim, them speaking about previous companions, Megal and her bear.
Well, I've met Megal. I was with Megal and the bear. But I think.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
I think Grim joined right after Sebastian was reincarnated.
Yeah, that's right. My bad.
So I think Sebastian was reincarnated, and then my first character got killed. I didn't bring her back, so I brought Grim in, and then Megal was still with them, and then no, maybe before Sebastian died the first time, because we went back and Isabella's one to cast the reincarnate, and then she stayed with us, right?
Was it Isabella or Megal that went through and fought
It
the
was
big giant?
it was Megal.
Because after that, you went back to Sandpoint. That's when Isabella came back.
Yes. Yeah. So Isabella has missed all of that kind of fun.
Well, Wymack, who are you going to talk to?
How bad is he mangled up?
So the Nightwing finished him off with a bite, like almost like kind of swallowed him whole. I mean, he is mangled and such. His body's in one piece. It's more like bones broken, and more in that type of situation.
All right, I'll do what I can to his to his corpse to patch it, like sew it up, set bones.
You gotta sew them together.
Yeah.
Give me a heal check.
God, I'm gonna be hideous. I'd rather just stay dead. I'm gonna look like one of those little patchwork cat dolls.
37.
Very nice. So you start kind of patching up, the gashes and wounds that he had in him from this undead servant, and start resetting the bones. You got him all laid out there. There's a small kink at the tip of his tail that you can't quite get to set perfectly. So it's like the tip. It's like almost like a little bit of a crooked finger at the end. The rest of him looks fine.
You're going to have a crooked tail
Almost like a little
Cricket
hook.
tail.
You could hook something on your tail.
How cute.
Looks like a cat who's been in a little
I
bit of a
mean,
fight.
once he's alive, it'll be cute. Right now, it's kind of still morbid.
Yeah.
Okay, you've patched him up. That's great. Now, what do we do?
We have that
That'll be-
scroll that will let us get off this plane.
Okay, and once we use that, can we get back to this plane? If we get him back and we need to return?
Well, we definitely have to return, but I look over at Wymek. Do we have a way to get back?
We can. Let me see let me think on this.
Guys, I've been thinking about things, and if my calculations are right, we have to hurry. We have exactly 7 minutes and 33 seconds before the world ends.
Where are you getting this number from?
I've taken erosion and the moon patterns of the last month into calculations.
You can't see the moon from right here.
I've got a good imagination.
Ah, okay.
I'm just saying we should probably hurry.
Well, I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about this arcane stuff, but she looks over at Wymac as she's going through her books. But you really can't rush it and not get really bad results.
But we need Sebastian, so we need to go and bring him back, and we need to do it in a timely manner. That's all I'm saying.
I think Wymac's trying to figure out a way that we can do it. It's not something I can do.
I'm trying to recall any creature I can bind that has the ability to bring the dead back to life.
Well, that would be handy if you could get somebody here.
I mean, if you could bring him back to life here, it'd probably be good because his soul is probably closer right now than if we take him somewhere else. Because this is where he died, so his soul's got to be around here, floating around somewhere.
You think you could find it for me?
Well, I'm not very good at finding things. I'm still looking for that crown, but I'll try.
Thank you.
I forgot about the crown.
I'm going to walk off back
Sebastian.
over here and start looking around the room.
Sebastian, you found yourself being transported once again through sort of a blur of space and time, it seems, as you're whisked into this gray, sort of foggy, clouded area, almost as if you're floating. And suddenly, just in front of you, materializes, you see these long lines. It looks like of various people and creatures, and almost endless looking lines, all filed in different directions, going towards a central location. You find yourself, approaching purgatory to be judged. You can see that there's things you've never even considered being possible, like these creature types and things of that nature. You can see up ahead in the line that you're in a variety of like divine looking creatures. Like some of them have, like for the lines of Desna, you might see some robed figures with these sort of bright purples and blues and these strange runes on their robes and cloaks, as they're petitioning these souls and getting them prepared for judgment. As you're standing there in line, though, uh, you hear a somewhat familiar voice echo into your mind. You're in the wrong place. You need to join us on the plateau. I bid you take your place among us where you belong. If you follow through this folly, you will be damned to this complacent place, and that be torture enough. You don't wish to be idle and bored. Join us. And you hear the skittering of what sounds like spiders in your brain, sort of weaving these webs of shadows kind of around you, almost as inviting you away from this line, this, before you approach the boneyard as you're making your way across, like, purgatory.
Oof. Damn. Decisions. I mean, is my mind and stuff basically still intact as it was when I was alive?
Yeah. And honestly, here's a good question for you. When you look down at your body, do you see your regular human body or do you see your cat body? I'll leave that.
That is a good question. I feel like the soul would be its true self, so I feel like I would see my human form.
Yeah, you look down, you see your human form. You're sort of semi-ethereal. And like I said, the line you're in, there's people forming up behind you constantly, creating this almost endless looking line. As other souls are dying and getting in the line, to be judged and see if, you can go to, I think Desna dwells. She sometimes visits Elysium, and then she has her own palace. Like, to go to that specific afterlife. The people in front of you are all Desnites. Um, So, and like I said, there's petitioners going up and down the line as well, preparing the souls, and there's like psychopomp ushers off in the distance, making sure everything is going, according to plan. But it seems like you are being almost singled out by this mental entity, beckoning you to step away and join them.
Oh, man. Well, I'm in the line of Desna, so that is a good thing. I think. But if I go to the plateau, knowing what I know about that place, I just clench my hands and I put them down to the side of my body and I just say, mentally and physically, no.
As you kind of surge with your own conviction of saying no, you can feel sort of these shadowy webs that are kind of almost wrapped around you, like mentally. These sort of sounds of like spider legs and stuff in your head, they kind of give it one last push to try to stay as you expel that from your mind, and almost like a physical weight lifts off you, and you look up the line, you see this hooded figure with his robes that look almost like butterfly wings, speaking to a soul, about 10 or 20 people in front of you, or 10 or 20 souls in front of you. As you say no and push that away, like he immediately turns and looks up at you and kind of gives you a approving nod of sorts,
Oh,
as
shit.
if he recognized what was happening.
Oh. This place is intimidating and this person's intimidating, so I just like immediately look down at my feet. So I don't try to draw attention to myself.
Very nice. The rest of you, do you recall? Do you have any ideas on what you might be able to summon to help him out?
I'll sit there for a minute and I hold on.
I'm in a baby.
I was saying petitioner, but that's not the right word. Like, once you pass through this line, you will become a petitioner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I really, I guess, meant to say was like an usher, uh, or like a servant, a divine servant of Desna. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Uh, that's what I
One of
meant.
her servitors.
Right. That's kind of guiding the souls along, so that way you can get to the spire's edge, um, receive and become a petitioner, and move on forward with the path of your afterlife.
I I can do this myself, but it'll be physically taxing on him.
What do you mean physically taxing?
He will be weakened for a time.
Well, weakened is better than dead. Like, how weakened are we talking? Is he going to be like?
Is he going to be like a useless piece of noodle?
No, he will be missing some of his life force.
Don't you have that wand that can help, like whenever we're weakened?
With magical capabilities, we can continue to return that to him. But all of it takes time for that to be returned.
How much time are we talking?
He will be whole again in about a week.
Ooh.
But I have a spell that I'm able to. It will allow me to combine the types of magic into one, and I'm able to tap in the powers of the abilities granted to followers of a deity.
And of all the things that you can summon to you and talk to, none of them can do it without costing him his life force.
No, unfortunately, I'm not powerful enough to summon the ones that can do that.
I mean, we can bamf out. Is there anybody we can take him to that could?
Yes, we absolutely could, for a very steep price, if we have that to pay. Do we? I don't even know what kind of loot we have, guys.
I have 600 gold pieces. I'm willing to give 20 of that.
Sorry.
I accept the laying offer and I haunt the fuck out of Grim. You cheap bastard.
That's not enough.
We're talking probably high 20,000s in gold.
Well, Sebastian has over 30,000 gold on him.
Yeah, I've got about 5,000 I can chip in. From a from a metagamey standpoint, the spell that Mega would use, I think, is reincarnate, and I think she actually had the material components, because I think it was just like 1,000 gold and incense, and I always carried an extra stash of that. I'm just trying to find out.
That's what she used the
real
first
quick. Yeah, oil's worth 1,000 gold pieces. So
And we have something.
that's
We have something to get a hold of, Megal.
yeah, Megal gave Sebastian a feather token. I mean, you're going to have to go back to the other plane to do it, though. But you can get in contact with her.
Who dat?
That's one of the aliens that serve Desna, like a creature that's guiding them along to the afterlife.
Someone kill me quick.
Man, look at those thighs.
I know, right?
Yo, she's thick like stardust.
Girl is pulling a whole dump truck and a half.
Yeah, got a whole cosmos back there, baby girl. Wow. I mean, I don't know if I want to come back now. I'd say Afterlife is stunning.
Guy.
I'm an Elysium bitch. Wow.
Larry, did you see my message?
Yeah. So there are powerful clerics in your clan for sure. The only thing I would think that would hold you back is you were just saying you're looking for the crown, didn't want to return without it. I mean, from a metagame point of view, you got the crown, so you could return as the hero you're
I
supposed to
mean,
be.
I know I have the crown, but I mean, that's why I kind of was asking about that.
No, no. I mean, you're fully welcome to go. The mountain is actually it is really close. To like, let's see, what's the name of that big fortress? I've completely forgotten it. That you guys went and saved from the ogres, where everybody,
Oh,
all the NPCs went there to stay, basically.
yeah, I can't think of the name of it now.
I can't either.
Shoot, where's my
What?
notes?
Rennick?
Is it Fort? Is it Rennick?
Fort Rennick?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so yeah, your clan isn't very far from that at all.
And just as a note too, we have a ton of stuff to sell. We could easily fund, no matter what we're doing, we could easily fund it. You know, if we get someplace we can sell stuff.
Well, I had a thought. This crown that we've found, well, I don't know if it's the real one or not, but I can't find another one, so it's the only thing I got to go on. If I return it, then my father more than likely will accept me back. And if he does, we do have magic peoples in the clan that could probably bring Sebastian back. And me being who I am, kind of a big deal where I'm from, other than the whole exiled part, they'd probably do it for free.
That sounds like we've got a few good options. What do you guys want to do?
So, again, if you got better ones, I understand we can go wherever, but that is just another option. I know I'm not the brightest, and sometimes I don't think about things, but I mean, I think I could help this time.
I have faith in you. If you say we can get it done there, I'm more than willing to go.
Get what done?
Wymack, what do you think? To get, I just
Oh
look at
yeah, I
Sebastian.
forgot.
Look
Yeah,
at him.
right. I
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
for a second. Yeah, okay.
I know typically dwarves don't like my kind.
Oh, that's true.
Well, you're typically
What
not
kind of
traveling with the
reception would
chief's
Wymack?
son.
This is true. Still find it hard to believe that you're royalty.
I mean, we might want to brush your hair and dust off your cheeks a bit. I mean, you do look like you've slaughtered thousands of men and never once washed.
Well, I have.
Oh, I keep forgetting that part. Yep, you have. Never mind. Anyways, back we got to get him help quick. If we wait too long, the body's not going to be any good. We got to go. So make up your minds.
Wymack.
Limac, I think it falls on your shoulders. You have to decide where we go.
If they have the ability to do this, then even if I have to remain behind and wait for you, then I say we do it.
You're going to wait behind here by yourself.
Not here. Not here.
Oh, I was going to say, that doesn't sound like a very good idea. That sounds like something I would think of.
If you think I'll be safe in your stronghold, then I'll go. But if you think there's a chance that there will be some instances, then I'll remain out.
If you're with me, you're safe. Just don't go wandering off by yourself. Okay, so can one of you guys teleport us to as close to the mountain as possible?
What was your city's name?
Oh crap! I'd have to look at the map.
Really hollow.
I know it was close to. It wasn't too far from the steps, was it? From up by.
No, it's in there.
Actually, I thought it was. Yeah, just. I thought it was in the Stony Mountains,
Let me see.
or was it the other way? It's been a long time since we've talked about it, dude. I don't remember.
It's been a minute. Yeah, we'll just go with the Stony Mountains. Will be fine. And if it becomes important and we really got to dig into it later or whatever, we can do that. But yeah, Stony Mountains is fine.
Okay.
So it'll be right there. So absolutely. And almost as if on cue, as Grim pushes urgency, you hear Arcturus and Dark Smoke both kind of hear the sounds of something shuffling along, kind of loudly across the hall, through the door that you guys haven't really been through yet. I think Isabella had actually peeked in there, and there were a bunch of dead bodies, more of the clones from the Halls of Pride. Were all splayed out there. Yes, you definitely hear some shuffling and some noise coming from that area.
Oh Christ.
What did we need to get out of this section? Did we get what we needed from here? I can't remember.
The wine, and yes,
we got what we needed.
So we got what we needed. Okay, let's get out of here.
Let's go.
All right.
Tomorrow.
What?
Well, if we want to not use that scroll, I can get us out of here tomorrow.
I don't know. Like, isn't there a time limit on this? Like, on bringing him back?
It depends on how powerful your clerics are.
Well, they're pretty powerful. I mean, honestly, I didn't go to church much. I've never really needed a lot of healing, but, I mean, I have a feeling they're pretty powerful.
If they're as powerful as I'm hoping they are, then we have about 6 months.
I seen this one. It found a huge praying mantis, and its wing was broke. Healed it right up.
I look to Isabella.
If you have doubt, Magnamar definitely has the resources to do it. After that description.
Well, I don't know what to say. Is there any place that we've been that we feel like we could hole up for a night? I don't really think there's any place safe for us to go without using that scroll.
Okay.
The Iron Cages of Love. You guys are pretty sure you had cleared that area.
Well, do you want to try and sleep there?
And then the Halls of Pride also, that were the 3 Alufines.
I mean,
let's just use the scroll. I will scribe more.
I don't like the idea of sleeping in this place. I'll be honest with you. Anything could walk down these halls.
All right.
And our little buddy needs help quick.
Who has the scroll?
That's me, and I start reading it. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Let me proofread it for you.
Yeah, who has the scroll?
I think it's on Sebastian's body.
All right, I'll start rifling in his pockets, taking some gold. You have how much? 30,000 gold.
$34,869.
Let's just knock that down to about 25,000. No.
Whatever. I can't stop you. What scroll are you looking for?
uh, plane shift.
I don't think I have that.
I don't have it on mine.
We found it, but we didn't like divide it up. We just automatically gave it to you.
Oh, you gave it to me.
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably
'Cause
would have
there were-
taken it.
Because there was two of them.
2 scrolls of plane shift.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have them on here. If you're good with me adding them now, Larry.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys
Yeah,
converge
maybe
back
they're in the loot. I'll have to look.
as you make your way back into the central hub of Rune Porch here near the Rune Well, bringing Sebastian with you, kind of keeping a watch over your shoulders and such for any other surprise attacks or what have you. You get back, kind of rifle through your gear, you find the scroll. Do you have a destination in mind?
Well, should we just do Fort Rennick since it's close?
Can you take me back to the map, Larry?
Yeah, because we really don't know where to get to. I mean, you haven't ever been to where Grimm's Kingdom is, right?
No. I
Yeah,
know the
so-
area well, but
It's just east
I'm
of
not
the.
exactly sure. Would I know with the knowledge geography?
Yeah, give me a knowledge geography. You're from that general area.
37.
So yeah, you got a pretty good idea of where it's at. It's nestled up, high up on a peak. While you obviously never been there because your clan of dwarves. Your clan always kept an eye on them, and you know what I'm saying, kept watch on their movements and such. Maybe even had raided some of their supply trains and things of
Who's
that nature.
who's
When
who's
you were younger. So yeah, you got a pretty good idea.
who's the leader of your clan, David? What was his name again?
Oh god. I forgot
He's
his.
in here. So
Yeah. Now it's not the necromancer wasn't the leader, the one that was harassing us.
yeah, he was like a warrior.
Well,
It's been so long since I've really thought about my tribe that it feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, I can't recall it either.
Well, I'm just going to say, I mean, if the conversation comes up about where you've been, you might want to just tell everybody you're an orphan. I wouldn't mention your tribe. I'm pretty sure they've done a bit of raiding in the mountains, and well, I didn't realize we were so close. We were like neighbors. Oh, we could have been besties. Anyways, just might want to just keep that on the down low.
All right, so you got the scroll ready. You have a destination in mind. As you begin to read it, imagining this place, as the words burn off the scroll into ash, as you begin chanting this spell, and you feel the sudden lurch of teleportation grab you and pull you away from the Rune Forge and back into Golarion. Roll the 5D percentile. See how close you get.
Not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Do I need to roll for a direction?
Yeah, let's do that. D8.
We end up right at the bottom of the damn ocean.
Boop. Right in the Storball deep. Let's see. So you're aiming for Rannick?
Yeah, where is Rennick on here?
Right there where it says Skulls Cross.
Okay.
So let's see. So 1, 2. So you'll be northwest a little bit. Actually, that's really good. As you feel the lurch and the ground suddenly materializes below you, um, you find yourself standing on kind of a steep uh, granite type incline. As you look around, you see all these evergreen pines and such. You're sort of on a mountain slope. Forest reaches out below you, down into these lush valleys, miles and miles off into the distance. While up into the mountain, you can see way far up these snow-capped peaks. You kind of look around, get your bearings on where you might be. You see a few trails, and it looks like that there is a heavily rutted out like dirt road. It seems to have a lot of puddles and things of that nature made from caravan travel. Off to your left, and you guys are kind of standing. Like I said, it's kind of rocky granite, pretty decent little incline. The road seems to be going further up into the mountain, then also going down into one of these lush valleys below you. You don't see any traffic at the moment, but the road does look fairly well traveled. Like I said, with all these ruts, and you can see like where mules and horses and stuff have left plenty of hoof prints and such up and down.
My God, have you been here before? You got us awfully close.
Like I said, I know where it's at.
All right. Follow me. We've got maybe a couple of hours journey, and it's going to get pretty rough. The ground's not going to get any more level. Let's put it this way. It's going to get even more steep. So, hope you have your hiking boots on.
Does anyone have survival?
No.
Survival?
Nope.
Arcturus does.
Let's see. Yeah, give me a survival.
Not that great though, but
Better than my 0.
we relied on Megal too much. Natural 20.
Yes.
Nice.
All right, yeah. Arcturus kind of steps up. He looks around, kind of up and down the road, and he's like, "Well, it looks like a caravan trail. Definitely, from what I know of the area, combined with Wymack's knowledge, looks like we need to follow the road up into the mountain, and it should lead us straight to Puckett or Grimm's clan."
Oh, you know of Puckett. He's a very dangerous
The
dwarf.
mighty Puckett. Yeah, he's like, I feel like I can take us there without too much trouble at all.
Well, let's not waste time. Let's go.
It is about an hour or so after sunrise. It is wintertime, so there is a chill in the air. There's even off up ahead into the mountains, you can see some snow flurries and stuff. Where you're at right now, it's not bad, but you can see off in the miles ahead of you as the elevation climbs. You can see these evergreens and such with snow on the boughs. So it's a little bit chilly, but like I said, you got good daylight for travel.
If it gets bad, I have a wand of endure elements I'll use on us.
At the moment it's not too bad, but it depending on how the weather holds. Now you should be fine. You guys begin following Arcturus's lead up this trail, the mountain. This time of year, like I said, there's not a ton of travel. But you start following this worn out path, passing a few animals and such, deer and things of that nature. As you climb a little higher, the snow flurries start to increase a bit, but not really sticking to the ground as much here. A couple hours pass without any incident or anything of that nature. The road kind of winds up ahead off to the right where it kind of levels off. in the distance, you can see two stone towers that look like they've been carved into this sort of like a short peak. These towers are about 40 feet tall, one on each side. A large arching door seems to be made out of stone, and around the door, you can see these dwarven runes following the arch. In the center of the door, split with these large handles, and you can see that there's likely a large, like, block and tackle set up with these massive chains that will open and close the doors. You can see looks like a group of dwarves are up ahead, all wearing this kind of like a dark brown banded mail with these full helms on, with their beards coming out beneath it. They're all carrying pikes, and they all have bucklers on, and on the buckler you can see the symbol of Grimm's clan painted upon them. Um, their armor almost seems to meld in with the brown, sort of granity, brown and gray of the granite rock around. Even the towers are masterfully built to almost blend in with the mountain itself. As you are looking off, it's still probably maybe a mile away, so you can kind of see the dwarves off in the distance, kind of milling around, guarding the place. Looks like there's a couple of caravans set outside. Looks like they're probably waiting approval to enter the clan halls. Uh, Grim, when you see your people, there they are.
Um, I'm very nervous right now. I shuffle through and pull out the crown. Lord, please let this be Torag. Please let this be the right one. Oh God. Okay.
Before he goes any further, I'm gonna use prestidigitation a few times, make sure he's all cleaned up, looking nice.
Thank you, lady. I appreciate that. All right. Now, the last time I spoke to my dad, he kicked me out. So, but I brought the crown back. He said not to return until I have it, and I do. I hope so. I'm thinking everything should be completely copacetic. So, let's go meet my family. Oh Lord. Okay, let's go.
All right.
Then I just start. I kind of stick my head up real high and shoulders back and chest out, and I just start marching towards the front gate.
Taking the lead, everybody else kind of follows behind you as you start. You follow the curve of the path, and it kind of levels out and goes downhill a little bit towards these two towers and the large door. As you get a little closer, you can see a little thing that the dwarves have. Is there's likely some scouts in the woods that you haven't seen, but you can see a flashing of a mirror in the woods that is reflected on the side of one of the towers. And then you see the guard up on the tower turn the mirror in the direction of you. The light shines from in the woods to the tower, then back upon you, and you hear a horn blast kind of blow, informing everyone, someone's approaching.
When I see that,
pretty standard.
When I see that, I turn towards the woods, and I kind of speak loudly to make sure everybody hears me. Let him know we need an audience right away, please. Thank you. It is an emergency and cannot wait. And I've brought back the missing item as well, but be quick about it.
The rangers of the woods, these sort of scouts and like hidden guardians, usually travel in groups of 3. As you say the words out loud, just a moment or two passes, and you see a single sparrow fly up from the treetops and start heading towards the towers. When the sparrow gets there, you see the mirror kind of get folded back down. The others at the gates kind of looking around, you see them hold their hands up over their eyes like visors, trying to see through the kind of sunlight to see who's coming. And as you start to approach, you see them like kind of take 2 on each side. They hold their pikes up, kind of stand proudly, facing each other, sort of like in a military stance as you get closer and closer. They don't speak to you as you get close. You know that they're standing on ceremony. But as you're approaching, you can hear the chains start to crack and creak as the massive wheel is being turned inside as the doors start to open.
I whisper to my group, honestly, this is going much better than I thought it would. Just keep moving.
As you pass through the doors, each of the doors makes eye contact with you. Why, Mac? You don't know if it's your imagination or not, but through the slits of these full helms, when you pass by, you can kind of get the feeling that you're being almost glared at as you pass through.
Oh, I have no doubt.
uh, inside on the walls, you can see where they've got their guard tower set up and the stairs that lead up into each tower, and then sort of like a hallway carved out. It's really long and narrow, set up as a defensive measure, but beyond that, you can kind of start smelling the smoke of like forge fires, food being cooked. You can hear the conversation of dwarven voices speaking in their native tongue to each other. It seems like there's a little bit of excitement in the air as everybody kind of turns and looks at the door. You see, dwarven children and such running around their parents' feet, and you can see sort of like just the town like set up and as this is actually open air, this part, so you can see how they've made like a curve in the mountain. This is open air, and then beyond the town would be the actual halls of the city itself, but this is all where the smiths, um any animal husbandry and things of that nature would take place.
If we've got time, once we get our business taken care of, if we need to supply or sell anything, I think we can do it here, couldn't we?
Yes, this would be the commercial center where they would welcome outsiders in to do business, and it gives them like almost a full circle of protection. Like they got these towers outside, it makes a full circle in between the mountain itself and then this small peak that they've carved out. Does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think your
Um,
description is amazing.
Thank you. Um, you know that there's also a temple here where travelers can worship and stuff instead of having to be allowed like into the actual homes of the dwarves themselves. Um, so there's a temple, there's smithies, there's a few shops, there's a few taverns. You can cover all your basic needs here, even probably taking care of Sebastian, probably taken care of here as well. But as you guys come in, you see some of the dwarves start to mutter to each other and kind of whispering, looking at Grim, and then you sort of hear like a little bit of a foul. Those of you who speak Dwarven hear sort of a foul. He's brought in a dwarf. What's going on here? Is she a prisoner? Things of that nature sort of reach your ear from these whispers among the dwarven people.
Just keep moving. I hate to kill anybody, and I've just returned home, so I just keep moving.
Which were you heading?
I'm heading straight to the cleric's temple first.
Okay. It'd be off to the right. Off to the right, you kind of head that direction, passing by, not really speaking to anybody, and everybody's kind of, saying, keeping hush tones. But it does seem like some of the dwarves, some of the ones are like, the princess returned, and kind of seem happy about it. So it's a mixed audience as you make your way over. You see this the building is shaped sort of round with a rounded dome on top, with this large set of rooms that sort of speak of Torag, and the concepts of dwarven religion and nature. It too has a large stone door that is actually standing open, and you see acolytes and such. There's even a few humans there that are there to do trading, discussing philosophy and things of that nature. As you kind of come up to these stone steps that lead into this large open, domed room where there's these stone pews, and back in the very back of the room, you can see a variety of like podiums, and uh, there's statues of like some of your great clan leaders and then other dwarves of legends and such along the walls, and tapestries that depict, the glories of Torag. As you approach, one of the acolytes ask, "What can we do for you, Master Indwell?"
I need to see the lady. It's very important. I have a friend who needs attention right away.
It'll be done at once. He rushes off, after giving you like a quick bow, runs off into the back of the temple area, into some back rooms. You kind of hang out there. You can see some like pools of like holy water and things of that nature as well. Everyone, like I said, once again, just kind of maintains a wide berth from you as you kind of wait patiently. You see this female dwarf step out. She has a white, uh, braided beard coming down, and she's wearing like this breastplate, made out of mithril, it appears, with a symbol of Torag upon it. She has like a large mace on her side that looks like a fist at the head of it. She wears a circlet that has two wings on each side that kind of stick out, that are small. Under her bushy eyebrows, she kind of comes out kind of with a stern look up on her face, starts approaching you, and she says, "The prodigal prince has returned. What brings you home?"
My friend. And then I point to Sebastian's body. As you can see, he's fallen protecting me. To ensure my survival, he put his self in way of mine, the harm that would harm me. And so I would ask that you, if it's possible, bring him back.
"I have the strength to do this if your friend wishes to return. And I will do this, but you must speak with your father."
I know, but one problem at a time, please.
She nods, kind of gives a sidelong glance at Wymack, and she looks back down at you, almost as if questioning without saying anything. And you know that she
She is
probably isn't going to do
also
anything until
she is
she
also a friend who has risked her life for me on many occasions.
You see her kind of contemplate this for a moment. She says, "As you are the prince, I will take your word on this." She seems a little reluctant. She says, "Give me a moment. Bring your friend's body to the pulpit, and I will gather the necessary components."
I'll carry him to the pulpit, accidentally bump his head against it. Oh, shit, sorry. Oh, hope I didn't hurt anything. I try to lay him down gently.
That's kind of what I imagine the door looking like. And it leads through into this open air, like circular place, and then the mountain on beyond the open area. You arrange Sebastian's body. She's gone but a moment as she returned with a pair of acolytes, both female as well. One is kind of a bright red beard, and the rest of you notice that she can't seem to keep her eyes off of Grim as the elder priestess is giving them directions. She seems to almost be not paying attention as she's watching Grim. But they get they get their components together. She begins. Actually, what is it? A diamond. It is a diamond for resurrection.
I think so, yes.
All right. You see the priestess pull a diamond out of this bag she has. She holds it up above Sebastian's body, above his forehead. She taps his forehead with it. She moves down to his chest, touches his chest, and then from there she almost like outlines his body, like starting with his arms, coming back to the chest, the other arm, chest, down to the tip of his left leg, back to the chest, right leg, back to the chest. She holds the diamond up. It catches the torchlight as it reflects a myriad of colors, and she begins to, in her gravelly voice, chant this prayer to Torag. Her voice sounds like just crunching gravel, and you can feel the power of her conviction as she issues this call. Sebastian, as you stand in line, this servant of Desna has just nodded to you in approval for your own conviction in this moment. You hear a voice, sounds unfamiliar, but friendly, speaking in Dwarven. Friend of Grim, I have been asked to reach out to you. Your friends bid you return to them, take your place along their side. And you notice how her words are very similar to almost exactly what the denizen of Ling had said, which is seems eerie. But you notice that the feeling given in those words is completely different. It's a warm welcome instead of the dread.
I mean, I speak Dwarven, so I don't know if this is a trick or not. Can I try to sense motive? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't want to, you know,
Be tricked.
agree and be snatched to a bad place.
Right? No, absolutely.
31.
You feel the warmth and the welcome in the voice, uh, and just the dwarven language itself speaks of Grim in your mind. Um, you feel as if you answer this call, you will be returned to your companions. There's no doubt in your mind.
Okay. Even though it doesn't matter, out of just reflex, I just sigh and I look up at the. Do I know what that person? Do I know that's a Thralian?
Yes, you're aware.
I look up her to her and I give her a weak smile and I just say, I, I, I would love to stay, but I have unfinished business and I do not wish to leave my friends alone. So I must go. And then I accept the call.
As you're accepting, you see the Thalian mouth to you. Do as you think is best, dreamer. Keep up the faith. Keep dreaming. And that, as she's saying that and kind of nodding, you can feel the acceptance of her approval of your decision. You feel you're being pulled backwards. It's almost like you see your life being thrown in front of you rapidly in reverse, and you slam back into your body as you awaken on this stone slab in this large, cavernous room. You see this white bearded dwarf woman in front of you with this beautiful circlet, these dark granite gray eyes looking down upon you, surrounded by two female acolytes. And you kind of roll over and you see the rest of your companions standing there. By the way, Dark Smoke didn't come with you inside here. He stayed outside.
Okay.
He's not coming to the Dwarven City. He says he'll camp out and wait on you. You see the rest of the clan though, or I'm sorry, not the clan, your friends, as you awaken.
It's a clan.
We are his clan now.
Yeah, you're right.
It's my litter.
Yeah,
I'll take a step forward, like almost like I was gonna, walk up there, but then of course there's dwarfs.
as you step forward, they're kind of focused on Sebastian. They can see the relief. You know, they've done a service to their prince. Um, so don't really react to you stepping up as much. Um, it almost seems like Grimm's word absolutely holds some sway here.
That scares me.
Yeah, it does make me worry.
So Sebastian's eyes pop open, and I just
He
run up
pops
and
open and
hug him and forgetting about my armor spikes, so he'll probably have to take damage.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding.
Kill him again.
Quickly die.
you have no ill effects from the resurrection either.
Oh, true res.
So all that ability damage and stuff I got from the wraiths, that's all gone.
That's all gone. You come back fit as a fiddle. Like actually, you feel great.
All right. So Constitution drain. All right. Oh, I'm trying to remember what else is. Oh, the reincarnation. I get a penalty from that. And what else happened to me? All right. That's so Fit as a fiddle. Okay.
Would he come back as his original body, or is he still the cat?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Because you don't have to have the remains for true res.
That is true. I'll leave it to you, Justin. What do you want to come back as? Um, it's up to you, man.
Oh, shit. I mean, they used my body as a focal point, so it was a cat folk at that point. So,
Yeah, that's true. I guess it would pull it
I,
back to that body.
yeah. So I guess it would just stay a cat folk.
Yeah, that's a good point though. Like if your body had been disintegrated and left a bone or something behind, then you might come back as yourself. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully, this is my last time. Yeah, I still come back as a cat folk because that was, you know, the focal point of the spell. Maybe I'll figure out a way to go back human.
Hello, Sebastian. It's me, your friend Grim. Do you remember me?
I'm still laying on the altar, and I like roll my head over and look at him, and I just give him a smile. I remember you. I see you're still alive as well.
I am. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. So, what happened? I am assuming I died again. Do I still have memories? Do I have like?
Yes, you recall everything that happened. Uh, like not as if you were there, almost like a dream. So it's a bit like the time is distorted, and things of that nature. But you do remember it as you would a dream.
Second time dying, second time coming back. Uh, uh,
I'll step
Don't
forward.
test out to see if the third time's a charm, okay?
Yeah. I'm like, you're going to have to be more careful.
I apologize. And then I look around. Where are we? Are we still in the Rune Forge?
I kind of cut my eyes to the priestess when he says Rune Forge. Does that bring a spark of recognition to her?
As a holy woman, probably not. It's probably not something that they would study too much. I don't think.
You're in my home. I brought you here because I knew there were people that could help you, and we believed it was the quickest route.
Oh. So you brought your crown back and made up with them?
Well, we brought you here first. The whole. We got to get to the second part here.
Oh. Well, thanks, Grim. I really appreciate it. If there's anything I could do for you, just let me know.
If there's ever anything I might need, I will definitely call on you, my friend.
One of
Okay.
Nikolai says, diamonds aren't cheap. And the older priestess kind of makes eye contact with her, like, shut up.
It's Archie. Diamonds are forever.
I will
The
make
red-bearded one.
sure. I will make sure there is a generous donation from the coffers to your temple, my lady. Again, your works are always appreciated. May Torag always shine upon you.
The younger priestess says, thank you for your blessing, my lord. And we are just happy to do what's right. And she's like making eye contact with you, and you know what I'm saying? Little giddy eyed.
Thank you, Mabel.
Yes.
I've known her since she was very young.
I keep forgetting you're a royalty. It's kind of strange to watch this interaction.
My friend, sometimes I forget it myself.
But again, thank you. And I look to the priestesses and I speak in Dwarven a little, I guess, a prayer of thanks for them and to them and their god.
As you look, the older priestess, with her granite gray eyes, makes eye contact with you, and you can't help but feel almost like a motherly affection toward her. Can't really explain it, but it almost seems as if her bringing you back has created some sort of bond between you two.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I give her a meek smile, and I feel like my nose starts twitching and my ears go flat.
He just gives you a nod at your thanks, and she says, "Now, Grim, you have important business. You need to speak to your father.
You
Everyone's
know,
standing on ceremony right now, welcoming you home. Let's hope he does the same."
yeah. Um, yeah, if we want to leave, we probably should go talk to my father now. Um, Thank you, my lady. Right away. I'm headed that way right now. Really quickly. I'm going so fast. I can't. Going right now. Oh,
She starts shooing you that way. You remember her from when you were a kid, you know what I'm saying? She's always like getting on you about stuff and you know what I mean,
hurry.
yelling at
Let's go, guys, before she gets her ruler out.
you. Right, exactly. As you get ushered out of the temple, though, you kind of come back into the main area of the shops and things of that nature. Across the way, you can see that there are a variety of doors that lead into the mountain on the backside, all guarded heavily. And you know that some of the doors actually lead to nowhere. Uh, there's just defensive measures. You instinct, I mean, you
Is
know
there
for sure
still
which door it is.
people talking like before about YMAC?
Yeah, there's a little bit of whispers and such.
Okay.
The kind of the priestess though, she's kind of behind you when you exit. You know, she's ushering you out. Uh, as you're kind of stepping in, you can hear her start to chastise somebody. The prince is home. You will speak no ill. Only he and his father can make these decisions, and we will do what the king says. The prince give his word that she is a friend, so a friend she is until proven otherwise.
I'm
And that
going
seems
to.
to chastise some of.
Well, I'm going to ask YMAC to come stand beside me as I move towards kind of like the center of everything. YMAC, if you'll join me beside me, please.
Why?
Just do it.
You're not going to erase generations of mistrust and hatred between our races.
I know, but I can make your stay a lot more easy, I think. For the little bit of time you're here. I understand you're not going to be coming back tomorrow, but. And at that, I slam my shield on the ground and I yell really loud. These are my friends. This is YMAC. This is Sebastian and Isabel. If I hear any whisperings of any disparaging words against any of them, I will become exiled again for leaving your blood soaking into the rock you stand upon. I hope I've made myself clear. Now, let's go see my father.
It's Maybell.
Oof.
She
I'm
was
here for
always
it,
she was always a looker.
man.
She's
I
looking at
love
you.
her. Yeah, she's built like a forge, and I love it.
She's straightened my hammer a couple times. Wait,
I
she's a
can't talk.
priest. No,
You
she
can't
hasn't.
talk to the priestesses like that,
With that gauntlet too.
guys. If I feel great, but if things go sour, I can get us out of here if we need to, skedaddle.
Nothing's gonna go sour now. Trust me, we're good.
Okay, all right.
Do you know you're aware of which of the 7 doors will actually lead you where you need to go um, into your father's court? It's the third one from the left. You make your way over. Like I said, all doors are heavily guarded. As you approach, the 2 guards in their pikes step aside. They crank the doors open. It leads down a long, winding hallway. Um, it's dimly lit with candles, um, so it's very low light. As you descend down this
Boo!
hall, um, you come up on like a central hub type area where a variety of really long tables with these like red and gold runners are set up on it with bowls of fruit, flagons of drink, uh, things of that nature. There's about 10 tables set across for these large gatherings. At the head of the table, uh, you can see your father sitting across with his his woolen cloak made from a white wolf. Uh, he wears simple leathers. Uh, his hand axe is at his side. His long graying beard and his hair is pulled back underneath this. Um, he wears a circlet in place of the crown at this point. But he seems to be sitting as he's got word that you were here apparently. But as he's starting to sit and you guys walk into this area, he stops, remains standing, looks across the room at each of you, and as he does, you feel as if though he's taking you all in individually as he glances at each of you, and then he finally speaks in Dwarven. So my son has decided to finally return home. The hour of his need must be great to come back. What brings you here now?
Um, Hi, Dad. Um, Sorry, sir. And I kind of bow my head. And then I present the crown. Um, I said I wouldn't return until I found it, and I believe I have. And I present it to him. I lay it on the edge of the table with the bow in front of him. I said, but also I had a friend that was in need of help. I knew our clerics could do the job, and so I brought him here. I hope you understand. I've hated being away, but if it wasn't for these good people, I may never have the chance to return. So I owe them a debt of gratitude, and I hope you'll see that.
I'd long to think about your departure. I told you it was a fool's errand, and yet here you are proving me wrong.
You told me to leave.
Your departure, Granick Granulk has had long conversations with me about our relations and the future of our clan. I was an old fool, damn it. And yet here are coming back home, bringing the crown. And he kind of picks it up, he looks at it. He's like, and it's not the crown that I needed all along. It was my heir, my son. I feel like I failed you as a father. I hope you can forgive me that.
Oh, oh, it's okay, Pops. And I give him a big hug.
She up in a big bear hug, and he's like, and you can imagine like Grand Oak like bitching at him basically for the whole time he's been gone. She was right. I was consumed in my own pride, and once again, for that I apologize. I welcome you home. I bid you stay. I bid your friends stay. Take your place as my heir. And he starts to raise the crown to your head.
Uh,
Um,
uh, Dad, there's business we have to talk about. I can't stay long. I was hoping we could rest for the night. Now that my friend has been put whole, we could stay for the night, but we have to leave first thing in the morning. There's dastardly plans at work in the world, and I fear we're the only ones that can stop them. And I kind of give him a synopsis of what's happened and what's going on.
so you kind of explain.
And I ask my
He,
friends to fill in any details that I more than likely have forgotten.
as you give him a synopsis and explain what's going on, he kind of looks at you with a bit of sadness in his eyes and he says, "You've returned home yet to leave again? I prepared for this moment for a long time. Others can handle the problems of the world. It's the clan we must focus on. We must continue our path. We must take care of the clan. And he's like holding the crown out to you.
um,
Let the folks of Arizia handle this problem. We are but a small clan. If what you say about a Rune Lord is true, though I know little, I have heard some of the stories. We cannot stand against such might.
my friends, Wymac, you know a lot of this history. If what may come to fruition comes, will my clan or any clan be safe?
You look into why
Yep, I'm asking Wymac.
Yeah. If
that orc speaking before the dwarven clan leader should be
Yeah.
interested.
if what comes to pass and they view this kingdom as a threat, they will bring the mountain down upon your head. It'll be done with the snap of a finger.
So you see, Father, if I am doing this to protect our clan. And as soon as we've put it right, as soon as we finish it, I will return to you. And I will gladly take my place. But this danger, it has to be stopped.
The older priestess comes in behind you, Granny Oak. Maybe she'd been there the whole time. You're not quite sure. But she says, I agree with Grim and his friends. If we stand aside and do nothing, then that makes us cowards. And those of our clan are not cowards. You must know this the best. Let him go. We will offer what aid we can. If we can preemptively strike against this, then our clan will prosper. We'll reach the outer world, and it will be to all benefits. We can make relations with Barizia, Fort Rannoch, all of these places. It is to our benefit, though it is dangerous. And we can offer aid to your son in this. And you see the king's taking it in. She obviously serves as his, probably highest advisor. He looks back at you and sets the crown down on the table, grabs you by each of your shoulders, looks into your eyes, and he says, she's right, and you're right. You'll serve well as a ruler when it's your time. And he kind of turns, he looks to Wymac, and at first you think he's like, kind of hate, looking at you glaringly.
Yeah, I'm watching
steps over.
very carefully.
He grabs your forearm like in an adventurer's embrace, kind of tightens down on your forearm, and he says, and even perhaps we might forge other alliances. It's time for our clan to stand unique among our type. Feel like we can go forward and everyone can receive this blessing of friendship, family, and clan. And he looks to each of the rest of the party, making eye contact with all of you. And after he holds Womack a little longer than normal, but then he turns to each of the rest of you and, takes you in that forearm grip. If you stand beside my son, then our clan stands beside you. What do you need to make this happen?
I'm just staring wide-eyed at him and Wyman. Even that surprised me. I'm just like, gosh. If I'd
Seems
known
like he's
he'd
maybe getting soft in his old age or something. Like
if I'd have known it made him this reasonable, I'd have left a long time ago. I'm just kidding, Dad. Just kidding. I'm sorry, sir.
while you contemplate what your need is, I think you all road weary. I've been informed that your friend has had a harrowing ordeal with Bastion. Please eat, drink, make yourselves at home, and we can speak more later of how we may aid you.
A rest would go a long way.
We will have royal suits prepared for each of you. And he claps his hand. You see a couple of servants, almost as if they step out of the stone itself in the rooms, begin to approach. They're all wearing the clan colors, like the red and the gold. kind of a burnt looking red that almost matches the stone colors around you. They all come out ready to show you the way and answer any questions or give you what you need. You're used to this type of thing, Grim. The servants stay pretty well out of the way and needed.
Yep.
But they're not really treated like servants, but they're treated very well. But they definitely know their place within the clan, for sure. The rest of you might be surprised at how deftly they sort of like melded with the stone. Come this way, we'll to your rooms. They switched to common, by the way, at this point. We can have fresh clothing, fresh linens, food, drink, and anything else you might need. If you wish to get some fresh air, if the become too much for each of you or any of you, please step out into the courtyard. Enjoy the taverns we have. We have plenty of ale. We have plenty of drink. We're setting up for winter at the moment, so our store is full. Please make yourselves at home.
Thank you.
If you need us, we are at your beck and call. They take you out of the sort of political areas of the capital and into like a sort of so there's like a common meeting area, like a common room, like of an inn sort of set up as, and there's multiple floors that go up, these stone stairs that kind of wind up and down. Each has like a metal door that goes into a room that's got a large bed that sits upon a stone slab. At first you think, man, this isn't going to be very comfortable, but upon touching it, it's as soft as silk. And each room has like a mirror, a washroom, a couple of bottles of wine are set in each room as well. There's a truck, and then moments later, you brought in fresh clothing, like soap and material to clean yourselves up with, things like some fruit to snack on.
So we all got our own room, or
If you want, or you can stay in the same. If you're more comfortable doing that, you absolutely can.
I feel like Sebastian would probably start to sheepishly look at Wymac as we're heading to these rooms. But he doesn't say anything. He's too scared.
She'll grab his hand.
Oh, would you want to share a room, Wymac?
Sure.
Okay. I squeeze her hand back.
Don't worry, the stone's really thick. Nobody will hear anything.
If I could blush, I would be a red cat. But actually, when we get into the room, I actually start talking to Wymac about the things I've seen in the afterlife. Basically, having like a philosophical conversation with her.
All right. So, do you know what that was that called you?
I know it's the plateau, but I don't know what exactly it was. What do I know Larry, or do I?
Yeah, the previous time you know it was the plateau calling you, beckoning you to join them. They were offering like strength and power, connections across the multiverse. So yeah, you're aware that you're basically in a big decision moment between, Desna and Link.
What is your connection with Ling?
Well, as you know, my family is Chilaxian. We're from nobility from there, and it is said that we signed a contract with the devils to gain the power that I have, but I've come to believe that through my own research and traveling with all of you and unlocking more of my gifts is that I don't think the contract that we signed gave us anything that we didn't already have. It just brought it to the surface much quicker than it was going to be. I think, and I pull out my black maga skinned notebook that has the dragon ritual in it and stuff, and I flip to the pages that show her the diagrams, things. I think my family is a descended from a nightmare dragon. I just don't know what or whom it is, if they're still around. But yeah, the devils just took advantage of what was already there that we weren't aware of.
Have you spoken to Dark Smoke about this?
I have not. I wanted to, but things happen. I died, unfortunately, and now I'm back. But I think the next time when we leave Grimm's amazing clan city, I was going to have a conversation with him about it.
He very well might know who your ancestry was.
I hope so, but even if he doesn't, I mean, I've made a lot of progress on my own, so I can just continue doing what I've been doing.
Now, dragons sometimes mingle with mortals. Larry, are nightmare dragons the kind that normally do that?
No, you wouldn't think that they normally would, because most mortals wouldn't be able to retain their sanity in dealing with a nightmare dragon that way. Um, but there are other anomalies in this world. Like if his ancestors had mingled with nightmare dragons, then their willpower must have been immense. Um,
Yeah.
or they were insane. It's hard to tell without really knowing. Um,
I got
but
a
such
little
a
twinkle in my eye of
su-
insanity.
such a union, is definitely possible. And if he's talking like a devil made a contract with him, the devil already knew that and was like, I'll give you the strength of the dragon. Um, and he just kind of brought that to the surface to his own benefit. It all sounds very plausible.
I think you should speak with him.
I think I will. But I was also wanting to get your pointers on this ritual, and I turned to the pages of the occult ritual I'm designing to see, if she can help out.
Okay, and what is the premise of it?
It's to bring out the full heritage of the nightmare dragon to turn me into a permanent nightmare dragon. But there has been other workings on it to maybe do a variant of the ritual to become a dream dragon instead.
Is that what you truly want?
Um, Honestly, with all things considered, the fact that I've died twice, I I don't really know. I want to say yes, so I can be stronger and have the power to protect myself, mainly, and to protect all of you, but I'm not really sure what I want anymore at this point in time. I mean, it is something that I want to continue researching as it has been a project of mine and I don't want to stop halfway through. But I don't know. Half of me wants to do it and go back to Cheliax and just destroy everything for basically the crimes they were committed against my family. I still don't know what happened to my father. I'm not entirely sure if what my aunt told me about my mother is true. There's just a lot of unanswered questions that have been popping up, but for the most part, I still want to continue doing the research.
Well, I'll never discourage research. Don't act hasty on something like this.
And it gives you a smile at that and gives you a nod. I understand. Things have been progressing in this situation amongst us and as well as us that I never thought would have happened. And being homeless and not with anybody but Piddle, things have changed for sure.
Also, as far as you protecting us and being strong, you are one of the strongest minds that I know.
Well, the mind is only so much compared to the weakness of the body.
No, you manifest your mind in ways that no one that I've ever met before can.
Thanks. I, I am trying. I've been learning new things. I've actually learned some new tricks before I died again, but I'm kind of hoping to try out. Then I step back from her. How big is this room?
Probably it's a decent sized room, probably a 20 by 20. Kind of a little bit of a low ceiling, like maybe 6 foot tall. No, it's a lot, probably 7 foot tall ceiling. It's all stone, but it is spacious. Like I said, there's a large bed, a desk, like a wash basin, an armoire, and a chest that you can use.
Okay. I step back from her at least like would 10 feet be good enough? Like where I would be able to step back from 10 feet from her?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I do that. My eyes basically burst into crackling purple energy, and this shadow ripples across me from my eyes down to my body, and out of the shadow looks like small scales start to grow and form, and I morph into a nightmare dragon, a medium-sized juvenile nightmare dragon, as I cast Form of the Alien Dragon 1.
You see this transformation take place before your eyes. It's quite impressive, honestly, to watch. Being a spellcaster yourself.
See, you've already accomplished this. You don't need that ritual.
Well, my voice has gotten deeper too. It's a work in progress, but I feel like the application for it can be used for other things. And I walk around her, and I basically coil up to her.
Hmm.
These large wings and such sticking out your back.
You ever clap some dragon cheeks?
I've read
And
about it in a book.
goes dark as I cast deeper darkness.
You didn't let me show you my new spell as a prismatic spray.
Oh, oh, back to the afterlife I go.
All right, we can. All right.
I want this love scene to be told word by word, Larry. I want this
I'll
shit
have to
role
write
played
it down
out.
for you. I'll have to write a book about it.
Gotta do it for the you gotta do it for the Twitch streamers.
After
Yeah.
tangling with the dragon, I'm gonna be the one coming out all beaten up.
Back some
Gosh. Gotta go see the priest again.
Turn
Jesus.
the tables on me.
Wymack is now in the bestiality.
Yeah. Isabella and Grimm, as you start to tour around some of the dwarven halls, there are a few places they probably won't let you take Isabella, um, you know, clan secrets and such. But most of the places pretty well open to you. Taking you around, seeing some of this great architecture and the way the dwarves have manipulated the mountain, um, maintaining the strength of the mountain, yet making it accessible as well. Um, Really catches you off guard a bit. Having heard about dwarven architecture in your studies when you were younger, but actually seeing it with your own eyes is quite impressive. There's a variety of places. Food is plentiful, drink is plentiful. The crowd has warmed up to your presence. Um, Most of the folks, like I said, are very happy to see Grimm return home. So he gets a lot of claps on his shoulders. News is spreading fast among the halls. He's returned the crown. Grimm has returned with the crown. We never thought we would see it again. So things of that nature. He's being hailed everywhere he goes. A mug raised. Um, as you continue, is there any specific spot you would like to take her, or are you just kind of doing like a general?
Yes. I'm going to take her to my favorite spot. which it's a kind of a hidden path. And it kind of winds up past all the different halls and stuff until it actually goes quite a ways until finally it comes out the side of the mountain. And it's just kind of almost like a balcony, like there's like a this oval area that just kind of overlooks the valley and the other mountains and stuff. It's a sheer drop. There's nowhere to go once you get here, but it's just I like to come here and think and contemplate. And oh, I also lost my virginity here.
Seems a good spot to do that. And Isabella will admire the view. This is definitely a place of great beauty.
It is.
Yeah, below you can see the evergreens and such stretching out for miles and miles below you, leading into these valleys. You can see the waterways, and off to your right, off in the far distance, you can see the Storval Deep Lake, glistening, under this winter pale sun as these iron gray clouds kind of hover around. As small bits of snow just kind of dance lazily in the wind. Slight breezes blow the pines. Makes a very sort of almost like a pleasant ambience. There's a few cardinals and blue jays, pass from tree to tree.
Yeah. Most people think of dwarves as not being related to beauty and like the elves are. But I think beauty is just as much a part of all culture as it is theirs. Ours just manifests itself in different ways.
You know, Grim, I think you're going to be a very good king when it comes your time.
Well, I mean, yeah, I am. But I don't know if I'm ready for that. Let's take care of what we have to take care of that. And maybe someday.
All right. Well, come on. Let me buy you a drink.
Oh, we won't have to buy drinks. It's all you can drink for nothing at all. Sometimes it's good being me. And I take it to the best spot for the hardest liquor, dwarven liquor. Oh, yes, a night of debauchery.
You're led down these halls into, you assume, very nice yet typical dwarven fashion. This tavern with the stone bars and these squat stone stools and chairs. Um, Mostly dominate the room, but you do notice that they do also have like raised wooden bars and such, for more, taller folk and such. As you're welcomed in, uh, you sit down, you start getting, your choice of these drinks, some extremely strong. There's a variety of wines as well, beers and ales. And then, of course, like foods like Cornish hens and things of that nature are being served with potatoes and carrots. Um, it's a very pleasant atmosphere to be in. Kind of the worries of Runeforge and Karzog are kind of left into the back of your mind as you enjoy this almost like a pampering in a sense, dwarven style, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
As the night passes, I would say eventually Sebastian and Wymack will probably join you, right?
Yes.
I don't know. Roll for damage.
Wymack comes in a little rough, worse for wear. Like, I gotta eat, gotta keep my strength up.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Yes.
Drink the water, bitch. Yeah, Arcturus will probably show up too.
Arcturus shows up after, taking in the dwarven place in his own way. Maybe conferring with some of the, dwarven alchemists and such of the area. trying to pick up maybe some new knowledge or something. How to manipulate stone and alchemy, things of that nature.
Yeah, yeah, that
Um,
sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you might learn something different. With these types of alchemists, study a little differently than probably what he's used to. So he might gain a little insight to a thing or two. How acids work and
The
um,
goodly shit.
yeah,
Not no poison use.
right, right. Um, how to shape stone, things of that nature with various regents and things of that nature. You guys
Nice.
eat heartily. Um, no business is discussed as such, though you can see that some of the advisors to the king and some of the like the military type end of the clan come and go as well. And they seem to be discussing things like, how can we, the king is wanting to make connections with Varizia. He's talking about sending envoys to Fort Rannoch. Um, so there's early discussions of how the clan can reach out and help everybody and sort of maybe bring the people together under this threat of a Rune Lord. What better reason? The night
Has
will pass.
has his clan been like isolated from the rest of the world?
Kind of imagine a little bit. They emerged, um, and they're not. The city's not as big as like some of these other known skyclaves that you might have heard of and such. It's kind of a smaller clan, uh, but they have strength, and you can see that, and they really seem to have something to offer to the rest of the world as well. But if you look into any of the histories and such, unfortunately, they would probably be. I don't want to say a footnote, but not quite as well described or even known as say like Caramaga or some of these other places.
Okay. Is there like other dwarven clans that are in this area?
So this is actually like a collection of clans. Like each will retain its family name, but they all take the clan name as like a surname as well. So it is a variety of clans. They like the king usually passes to an heir, and found like unworthy or whatever, then one of the other clan leaders can be stepped in, and there'll be like a council as well, and they'll vote in that type of case. Though such a vote hasn't taken place in hundreds of years.
Oh
The
wow.
Grimm's line has been ruling the kingdom for some time now, and it seems like they've done a pretty good job, even though they do stay generally isolated, doing trade like they used to trade with the Black Arrows and such, here and there, and they kind of help the Black Arrows guard, the southern end of the mountains and across the plateau and such. But generally, they're not, like I said, not super well known.
Oh, cool. Sebastian likes history, so I'm sure he's like probably talking up to both Grimm and other dwarves about their history.
One of the things about them, and probably one of the reasons they're not a huge clan, is because of like the ogres of Hook Mountain. They are almost constantly being vigilant against them. So, in these struggles with the ogre clans and such, honestly, their numbers remain fairly low, um, because of these conflicts. And then on the other hand, you got the Cinderlands, um, and the orcs there, like Belskin and such across the way, causing issues as well. So they're sort of in like in the middle of a rock and a hard place, so to speak. Um, but they do manage to get out supplies and trade and such with those down the river, leading into I can't think of what is the name of the river, the Yandan Bakari River, and some of those settlements down in that area as well.
Fall River?
It's down like you follow past Turtleback Ferry. There's the
Oh, yeah,
Glimmer Glens and Lake Sarantula, and then the Yandu Bakari, which actually leads to Magnemar.
And there are the occasional caravans that still risk to travel through the mountains to bring goods in.
Exactly, yeah. though it is a treacherous journey, like I said, but you know from your own doings, in assisting Rannick getting the black arrows set back into place and defeating some of these the Ogre King, actually, remember he popped his head, that perhaps you've actually inadvertently aided his clan and that the ogres will be leaderless, essentially, until that power vacuum is filled. So it gives them a little time to breathe, for sure.
So, what's the plan now, guys? Do we have to go back to the Rune Forge?
The night will pass, so you guys can be rested. And you can continue.
I don't believe we didn't finish anything there, did we?
No, we have to go to the. We have to finish going through those rooms and get to the Rune Forge.
Activate the well?
It is not complete.
I didn't know if you guys continued or not after
No,
my little
no.
debacle.
You became our number one concern.
You haven't been dead you weren't dead that long, honestly. How long did it feel?
Oh, honestly, like an extremely long time. Almost as cliche as it sounds, almost an eternity. But I hope that that will be my last time, but the next time I go is natural. Hopefully.
With the lifestyle we lead, we'll be lucky if that's the case for any of us.
Well, seeing as how there's 6 of us and only one of us has died, or 2 of us have died.
But just in case Rymac's right, I say we drink up for the night and enjoy what little peace we have until we get back to it.
Yeah. Even though he pushes the drink away from him a little bit.
Yeah, I don't drink much either. I'm gonna scribe a spell tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you guys can
I look at them and just.
work on your items. Arcturus wants to do anything. Go ahead and give yourselves a full 8 hours to do that. Because you'll be resting, basically being taken care of, so you won't have to exert much energy in that. You'll only be exerting energy in things you want to be. So you can do some crafting and things of that nature too freely, and you'll have access to dwarven tools and implements as well. So
Larry, I'm gonna scribe plane shift.
excellent.
I'm going to get nice and early before we leave and go say goodbye to my mother and father.
When you make your way to them, they'll basically be wishing you well, but also, how can we aid you? I've got some envoys. I'm going to send a group to Fort Rannick and speak to the Black Arrows and see how we may aid them. I'm also going to send an envoy to Magnamar, let them know. Well, if you guys have explained everything, the rest of the party has met the mayor, so we can update Magnamar on the goings on, see how we may aid them as well. Perhaps new alliances will be forged out of this. But if you need anything, we'll just ask.
I'll be sure to send you a message if we need anything. And if time passes and it's been a while, I'll send you a message just to let you know I'm okay.
He gives you a nod and he says, "You better, boy." Kind of feel a little bit of his hardness coming back. "You better let me know, boy. Otherwise, I have to come track you down myself."
You know me, Dad. I'm too smart to die.
"That's our legacy, me boy." Slaps you on the shoulder.
Ha ha, yes. And then I give my mother a kiss on the cheek. Goodbye, Mom. I love you.
She's got a little bit of tears in her eyes and she says, "I hate that you're leaving so soon now that you've only returned. But your father's filled me in on everything. And I'm glad he's chosen to forgive you. And I'm glad you've taken up a cause. You'll do our clan proud. Perhaps the bards will sing of our part in this in future days to come."
Perhaps. Besides, I don't think those 5 could survive without me. I have to go help them.
We agree. We think that your presence among them will be greatly beneficial.
Well, until next time, may the stone always be over your head, and may the ale always flow through your veins.
May your ore always be strong.
No complaints so far, and I just turn around and leave.
All right. So the rest of you, like, you crafted, you had a good night, you got a good rest. So you guys gather up in the morning.
Yeah, I would have worked more on my staff.
Okay.
Arcturus, I don't know. Does anybody have like a anything you want him to start crafting?
He's got a couple different crafting skills that.
What can he make?
He can brew potions, and he has craft wondrous item.
Dwemer essence, if that is something he's willing to do.
Let me see if he can do that. Dwemer. How the fuck do you spell Dwemer?
Dweomer.
E-O.
What is that stuff?
It adds 5 to your roll to get through spell resistance.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And it's used as part of your spell components. So it's 500 gold per use, but so 250 to craft. But still, I mean, if there's something you want to make sure you get that spell through.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, I mean that does.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He doesn't have spell penetration though. So if anybody else has that, let me see if
Penetration.
yeah, you worked on another thing, didn't you?
What, that night? Yeah, I was learning plane shift.
All right, it just the DC
It just
goes up.
raises the DC. Yeah.
Yeah, so it goes up by what 5?
5.
Yeah.
And this is what kind of craft is this? Is this a spellcraft check?
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
so spellcraft for him. It's 250. So how many can he make in one day?
He was. So can he can do like increase crafting speeds a little fast.
That for alchemical items, but this isn't an alchemical.
Let's see. What is it? You can do 100 a day. Is that right?
You can. I think for the full market price, you can do 2,000 gold a day.
Oh well, there you go. So you could do 4.
At 250 apiece, you could do 8 of them a day.
Well, that's the full market.
Okay.
So you can craft 1,000 crafting.
That's awesome.
So that's how many? That's so it's 1,000 divided by what? 250? Yeah, so we can craft 4, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
4,000. Yep.
All right, yeah, he will craft 4 of them if he can. I'll roll thing for him.
Mhm.
All right, 1d20. This is check for 23.
Can he make me a stick?
Whittle stick.
Time frame.
Like a real long stick with like a hook on the end, so like if I get something stuck in a tree, I can just like get it out. I don't like climbing trees.
So how do I know what the check is for this?
The DC.
I
What do you
mean,
say? I think it's caster level.
Yeah, it's caster. Let me see what it is.
It's a CL9 item, so I think it's
Caster level +5. So it'd just be 14, then plus
oh.
what? Yeah.
So here we go. Oh, natural 20.
oh
All
yeah.
right. All right. See, he will make 1,000 gold worth of that.
One of them will give you +6 on roll to defeat the spell resistance on that nat 20.
Nice.
All right. So here's how we'll do this. He He will keep one, and he will give one to Sebastian, one to Wymack, and one to Isabella. But he'll give the +6 one to Wymack.
Don't give one to Isabella.
Are you sure?
I don't have anything that's no, because my spells are all like first level, so yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay. Then yeah, he'll give.
I don't cast spells offensively.
He'll give 2 to Mac, but one of them will be the +6.
And I definitely can put forth gold for that.
I took it off of his, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
All right, so he only has 1. All right. And then we go to Art. My Sebastian. Yeah, I guess I will also, as Sebastian, work more on my staff.
Excellent.
It works, but
yeah, if he's ever got something, doesn't have anything to craft and has some time, that stuff is so good.
oh, now that I know that, yeah. I mean, he could have been crafting that shit a long time ago.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Actually, let me upload his stuff to. So, are we? We can just plane shift from here, right?
And
Back there. Okay. Actually, I would like to talk to Grim for a minute.
All right.
Grim,
Yeah.
I hear the stories of dwarven engineering and crafting and impeccable work. Would it be possible to maybe have your clan craft something for me?
I don't see why not. What are you thinking?
I was hoping to get maybe a 20 statue.
A 20-foot statue.
Well, you remember when I animated those coffins, right? Those sarcophagi?
Yes.
Well, I was hoping to get something like Wymax amalgam craft, and then I can use my magic to make it permanently animated. So this is the way we can have further help along the way.
attack him with a toaster.
I mean,
Giant fucking toaster.
I have no idea how that stuff works, but if it's possible, that's great. But you have to realize carving a statue, especially one that big, out of solid rock, I mean, that takes quite a bit of time, even for the best craftsmen.
Are we on a time limit?
But I was hoping that it was going to be something other than rock. Does your clan have any access to rare metals?
We definitely have the best metal. We have some of the best forges under the mountain. Rare metals, I don't know if we have. We're not that big. We don't have a lot of rare metals. I mean, we have some, but not enough to make a 20-foot statue of like adamantine or, like that. If that's what you want.
I just stare at his armor and shield, adamantine.
Went.
Yeah, it seems like a whole fucking deposit.
I didn't get any of this here. I found this in a dragon's lair.
Oh.
The spikes, the adamantine spikes, but the armor and the shields I found. When I was exiled, I left with nothing.
I'm gonna see if you're telling the truth. But 33 sense motive.
I'm telling the truth.
His eyeballs just get real wide and he says,
I mean, I assume it was a dragon there. There was no dragon there, but there was a bunch of treasures and armor and 2 shields, which I'm real good with shields. So adamantine spikes are just kind of made over time from different pieces when I would find them.
Oh, wow. That really impressive, Grim.
I was exiled for almost, it's been almost 2 years now.
Uh, Forget the statue. I can go to Magnamar for that. Um, if I'm overstepping my bounds, just tell me. But why were you exiled?
Because I had a bit too much to drink one night, and a traveling salesman who came into our city, whom I thought I could trust. I guess I gave away a little too much information about our securities and things, and he stole the crown. And so I'm not a real good liar, especially when it comes to my dad. And so when I came forth, it was like, oh, I got to make an example of you. I can't let this go undone. If this was anybody else, they would never, blah, blah, blah. And so he was like, don't return until you bring back the crown.
Uh,
And that was it.
did you ever find this merchant?
I didn't. He's a little gnome fella, but I've never seen him since.
Oh, well, I'm happy that things have worked out for you.
I am too. Honestly, I've just got really lucky that I ended up in Sandpoint, and then I heard about you lot finding a crown from you, and then it happened to be. It's a big coincidence, honestly.
You see coincidence, I see fate. When I won't speak for the others, but I personally am happy that we have met you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I try to give him a hug, but then I remember the spikes are there, and I just pat him on the shoulder.
I do have
Right.
something I need to tell everyone.
What?
Dark smoke is broken free.
I'm sorry. What?
Dark smoke has broken free.
When you say broken free, what exactly does that mean?
Binding a creature is not foolproof. You have to exert your will over this creature and maintain this lock. He was able to break free of my will.
Basically, her leash broke off
God.
to him.
Right outside of my clan. It broke free right outside the mountain where we let my people live.
But I don't think he remained in the area because did any of you have nightmares?
Well, I didn't have one.
You didn't.
I didn't.
I I probably would have even after the smashing. I probably would have had a nightmare
describe-
because that shit was just terrible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But here's the thing. I have to report it. They've got to be, just in case he returns. Why, Mark, you went a long way gaining my father's trust, especially considering you're half-orc.
Just tell them we saw a dragon in the mountains. That's all you need to tell them.
I just got done saying I'm not good at lying to my father.
Well, here's the thing, Wymack. Do I know about the Rangers, the scouts that were out there?
You assumed there was somebody out there. You saw the mirror alerting setup that they have.
That was, but was I told about that? I probably wasn't told about that after I was resurrected, right?
Well, you didn't see that, did you?
No, I was dead.
Yeah, you probably didn't catch that.
Never mind. Oh well, maybe he flew off.
Dwarves are pretty stubborn and resolute. I don't think he'd have as much success here as he would in other settlements.
This is true. We don't dream very much, to be honest with you.
You
I'll tell
almost
you
get the
what.
feeling that something might have happened to him. Honestly, like he didn't seem like he was crying to break your hold previously while you guys were in Rune Forge and stuff. He was fighting alongside you and all this stuff. So you kind of get the impression that something befell him, perhaps.
Yeah, this is kind of sudden.
Wasn't his family looking for him or something? Wasn't he
He
being?
definitely said there was like an elder that knew him that was after him for some reason, though he never diverted the reason. Um, but he was definitely paranoid. You remember from the first moment you met him, he was always looking over his shoulder, always keeping an eye on exits, like counting exits and things of that nature. So yeah,
Maybe that elder found him. I mean, why don't we go outside and see if we can look for clues?
Yeah, how long ago did he break free from you?
It was sometime in the night. I woke up this morning without the connection.
I'll just give word to the rangers that we may have seen something large flying in the sky. I won't say anything to my father or anybody else. I'll tell the scouts outside the castle to keep their eyes open.
they bow. Thank you, thank you. We will certainly keep an eye out for anything. You probably would have made a good ranger yourself, Prince. And kind of patting you on the back. We've heard the good deeds you're doing. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
Didn't he feed quite well at Fort Rannoch? Was it at Fort Rannoch?
What's that?
Wasn't it at Fort Rannoch where he fed quite well? Or where
No,
was
he
that?
didn't go. It was
It was Sandpoint, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah, I
think it
think it
was.
was Sandpoint. Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, well.
Fuck him.
We've got to get back to the Rune Forge.
And maybe he went back to Sandport, or maybe he just fled. But Grim is right. Well, dark smoke is just a minor problem.
I think we have to focus on the main problem until the minor problems make themselves known. And right now, we don't know anything of what's happened or anything. So, back to the Rune Forge, I say.
I agree. But we can still
Yeah.
go outside to see if there's any clues before we plane shift back.
yeah, you can. You're outside. You inform the rangers. Keep your eye out. And you kind of go to where you know that he was going to kind of lag behind a couple of miles down the road, off into the woods. Kind of set up like a little area for him to hang out and wait for you. You come upon a small. You can definitely tell it's a small campsite, small little ring of rocks. Didn't seem to have a fire. It looks like maybe a traveler's setup where folks would use it, like if they weren't granted access during the night to the fortress. They would wait there until morning until they were given the okay to come in. That's where he decided to stay. Uh, kind of start looking around. Give me a survival and a perception.
All of us?
Yeah, yeah. Anybody that would be kind of looking around for clues or hints.
I don't have survival, but perception's 28.
Nat
You're
20
kind of looking
for
around.
19.
Very nice. With all of your perceptions, uh, you notice that the campsite's like flat dirt with this fire pit ring in the center. Um, it's large enough to set up multiple tents or even perhaps park a wagon. Off in some of the bushes, something glittering kind of catches your eye. You see a ruby hilted dagger. Looks like it was kind of hastily tossed into the bushes. Definitely belonged to Dark Smoke. You saw him wearing it. He always had that and his rapier. On the survival, Arcturus starts looking around. You can see like he's pretty familiar with Dark Smoke's footprint size, like what he wore in his human form. You can see that there are three other individuals that were there in a humanoid form as well. And then, as he's kind of following the tracks, looking around, while he's not a ranger with tracking, he is able to get a sense that three individuals approached Dark Smoke seemingly out of nowhere. It looks like a scuffle happened through these rake marks in the dirt and stuff with these footprints. And it looks like one of the prints actually turns into large clawed prints, and then they both seemingly stop, just disappear from that point forward. And it looks like I said, a red hilted, um, silver and black dagger was tossed into the bushes
Okay.
in an attempt to hide it or leave it behind. But it appears they both, all the prints, all sort of disappeared at the same time, um, almost like he was taken.
Huh.
I'll pick up the dagger and give it to Wymek.
Was it magical? I don't know. I can't remember if I ever checked into it.
I don't know.
Was it magical, Larry? I don't remember checking it out.
Yes, it is. You can make a spell card.
Sorry, let me check. See what it is.
Oh, you're
30.
It is a dagger of Black Sands. You actually remember him commenting about it. The whole Sandman nightmare
Yeah.
connection there. He was very proud of it. So you don't think that that's something he would have left behind idly.
I will turn to Sebastian and kind of hand it to him hilt first. Psychic casters, from what I know, some of them have the ability to tap into an item. Can you do that?
Um, I've never done it before, but it's called psychometry. I can try to do it if you want to give me like a minute or so.
Okay.
All right, let me see what I can do. So it takes a minute while in physical contact. I have to make a DC 15 appraise check to decipher the visions. Um, all right, so sorry. You gain one piece of information about the historical significance or the last or previous owner, such as a glimpse of the last owner's appearance or its emotional state when it last used the item determined by the GM. You learn one more piece of information for every 10 by which your check result exceeds the DC, as long as you concentrate for one additional minute for each piece of information. If you fail the check by less than 5, or the item has no significant psychic imprint, you don't learn any information. 5 or more, the item appears to be psychically significant, even if it's not, and you begin to seem wildly inaccurate. Oof. All right, so it's a DC 15 appraise check. I mean, uh, do we like? Are we? Do I get a sense of like what's the urgency of this? Like, do I want to, well, like read it for more than a minute, or I can,
Uh,
or I'll just ask the group: do we want to get as much information out of this as possible?
Yeah.
I think so. He was a good ally to us. I'd
I'm
like
not
to
worried
know if
about
there's
him as
anything
an
we can
ally.
do.
It's more if there's people hunting us and they're strong enough to take him down. I want to know as much about them as possible.
All right, so okay, is this something I can take a 10 on, or probably not, right?
um, Good question. I think you probably can.
So if I take a 10, that would be that's a 24. I mean, is it possible to take a 20? You do it like take
Uh,
extra time, or
20 is unfortunately not
so
if there is a result for failure, because a 20 assumes that you rolled a 1 and then a 2 and then a 3.
okay. So probably best option is just to roll.
I would say I think you can
Alright.
take a 10 on it, but not a 20.
Because even if I took a
Just
10
try.
on it, it would only be 5 higher. I guess I'll just try to roll and see what I can glimpse. I'll roll because this is his first time doing this, so it makes sense that he
Okay,
doesn't really have an understanding of what he's doing.
that makes perfect.
All right, so here we go. I mean, it's a 15, so plus 14 plus 5. Oh, okay. All right, here we go. 20. So
As you
5 higher.
pick up the dagger and start to try to read the item, you get the very first sense you feel is his pride in having this dagger and his personal significance that's poured into it. You know, the Sandman and things of that nature to strike fear into the hearts of mortals. The last known impression left upon it is a great blast of fear that almost stops you in your tracks with sort of an impression of expediency, of trying to leave it behind secretly and trying to suppress his own fear as it feels like he's being torn away. uh, Binding of Wymack, but his own desire. You feel like he was probably stripped down and taken away very rapidly, caught not really off guard as he was always paranoid, um, but with an overwhelming force for sure. Um, Difficult to say. Well, it's almost impossible to say where, but someone definitely
Come
has
on,
it,
Cleveland.
and he wanted to. It seems like he wanted to leave the dagger behind quickly, as a warning or as a message to you.
Okay. When that fear hits me, I just and I drop the knife, and it just sinks into the ground, blade first.
Oh no.
Uh, um, whatever. I think this elder that he mentioned may have found him because a nightmare dragon. He felt such immense fear, and he was just stripped down to everything that he had and was taken away. So I can only imagine that it was, a nightmare dragon, the elder he mentioned, or something even more powerful from Lang.
It starts to like cycle through your mind, like how much he knew about your quest and all this, ancient knowledge you guys have gathered. Any powerful creature would definitely, knowing the location of the Rune Forge, knowing Karzog is returned. All this information would be of great value to any creature that crave power. Um, so
Didn't Karzog have things from that dimension bound in service?
yes, he definitely used uh things from Ling as servants for sure, like the Scarlet Spiders and such.
I don't know. Karzog has been known to bind denizens of Lang to service, so and he knows that we're going against him, so maybe something in his service found him, or this elder he was speaking about. But whatever it was, it was powerful, and to make a nightmare dragon feel fear, that is something. I pick the blade up hilt first, and I hand it back to Wymack. Hilt first.
Yeah, if Korzog is conspiring with these creatures and gathering allies to himself, it's a rather frightening thought.
So it may seem returning to the Rune Forge. Maybe we may have to take extra precaution.
Oh.
It's just a thought, but I can't know for sure. I've never done that before, so that was the first time I've tried to read an object. Worked out better than I thought it would, truth be told.
It's a nice talent.
Thanks. I can also read skulls too.
I know.
Well, I say we return to the Rune Forge and whatever's there waiting for us, we hit them head on. Sebastian, you stay in the back.
Mac, are you ready?
I think we are.
Think so.
All right, gather around.
As you all gather, Wymac begins chanting the spell she's becoming a little more familiar with upon the second casting. You feel the lurch is a little less strong as before as you shift between the veil of worlds into this strange demiplane created by these extremely powerful Rune Lords. You find yourselves standing right outside this primed and ready rune well, just waiting for the artifacts to create the weapons you need to hopefully once and for all end this threat that is rising and becoming more imminent day by day, it seems. And I think we can leave off there because I don't think we have time for any combat.
Oh, man. We're going to have a flipping
that?
elder dragon waiting for us down here.
Probably. Did we find all of the ingredients, or do we have more to find?
You need to go through Asblasnist, Kroon, and Karzog's.
Yeah, we got 3 more to do
Hubs.
still.
Oh. Even though I died in Zutha's thing, I still want to explore.
Much like the halls of necromancy, you just needed that bottle of wine. You didn't have to explore the whole thing. You just needed what you needed. So, no, if you can get in and get what you need and get out, it might not be too bad.
Good game, guys. Good game.
It was.
Very
Yes.
good game. Thank you all for
Glad
joining.
Sebastian's back.
Thanks for bringing me back.
Yes, welcome back.
If I die again, I don't think it's like you can handle it.
Welcome back.
Well, or it could just be like, oh, I'm here again. Okay, I'll just wait for me.
He fucking died again. I gotta wait a little bit. Demon Lich thing.
That was a pretty good session. It kind of sets up the idea, cars reaching out for allies and get to describe Northern clans always. I like dwarves, so describing their stuff's always.
Oh, I love dwarves.
We're pretty awesome.
Makes sense. He would reach out.
6 of you, yourselves. Yourself 6,000 XP each for the good role play. I appreciate it. I love it that we can go entire sessions role playing. And nobody seems frustrated or anything with it. That's awesome. That's super.
When it's a good
That's fun.
Yep.
I enjoy it.
Not saying I don't like the combat, but being able to do this as well is always good. Also, I'm sorry you guys didn't really get to shopping. We sort of glazed over that. My bad. So go ahead. You can retro shop. Sell off what you don't need, and if you need any equipment, while they can't give it to you for free, I'll give you a 20% discount on anything you buy from the Dwarven Clan.
Whoever doesn't give it to me free, I behead them. I condemn them to be beheaded. I am the rule. I rule.
Heads roll.
Oh, you bastard! You're banished forthwith from the kingdom. I get 20% discount. About anything you can think of.
Sell our stuff. I'll go ahead and post the totals in the Discord here pretty soon.
Thanks for watching. Bye,
Isabella
everybody.
has what is it? She gets to sell it at 10% higher.
Yep.